The Galactic Council chamber erupted in a cacophony of clicks, hisses, and otherworldly sounds that served as laughter among the assembled alien species. Admiral Zephyros of the Centaurian fleet displayed what could only be described as smugness across his crystalline features as he gestured toward the holographic display floating above the central podium. 5,000 soldiers, he announced, his voice carrying the metallic resonance typical of his kind. The humans call this their expeditionary force. The laughter intensified. High Commandant Vexhai of the Draconian Empire leaned forward, her serpentine neck extending as she examined the display more closely. 5,000. Our standard planetary assault requires minimum 50,000 troops. This is insulting. War Chief Brutok of the Orcish Syndicate slammed his massive fist against his seat's armrest, causing a thunderous boom that briefly silenced the chamber. My youngest spawn commands more warriors than this. How do these humans expect to contribute to our campaign against the Void Swarm? The human representative, Ambassador Sarah Chen, remained seated calmly at the far end of the semicircular assembly. Her small frame appeared almost insignificant among the towering alien dignitaries, yet she maintained perfect composure, despite the mockery surrounding her. Perhaps, suggested Admiral Zephyros with barely concealed disdain, the humans should reconsider their participation. The Outer Rim territories require serious military might, not token gestures. Ambassador Chen finally stood, her movements deliberate and measured. With respect, Admiral, our contribution has been carefully calculated for maximum effectiveness. This statement triggered another wave of alien amusement. High Commandant Vexhai's forked tongue flickered in what her species considered a chuckle. Maximum effectiveness? Child, the Void Swarm consumes entire star systems. They field millions of biomechanical constructs. Your tiny army would be consumed within hours. We understand the threat assessment, Chen replied evenly. Our force composition reflects human military doctrine, which emphasizes quality over quantity. War Chief Brutok's tusks gleamed as he grinned. Quality? What quality could possibly compensate for such pathetic numbers? The ambassador activated her personal holoprojector, displaying detailed specifications of human military equipment and soldier capabilities. The aliens leaned forward, initially curious, then increasingly confused as they reviewed the data. Your soldiers, Admiral Zephyros observed, studying the readouts, appear remarkably fragile. No natural armor, no enhanced strength modifications, limited lifespan compared to most species. Their equipment, while sophisticated, seems designed for beings who require external protection. That is correct, Chen confirmed. Humans evolved as persistence hunters on a world that constantly tried to kill them. We developed different survival strategies. High Commandant Vexhai's eyes narrowed. Persistence hunting? Against the Void Swarm? They don't tire, human. They don't feel fear or pain. They simply consume and replicate. Which brings us to an interesting tactical advantage, Chen said, her tone shifting slightly. Most species in this galaxy evolved as either apex predators or highly successful prey animals. You're powerful, intelligent, and well-adapted to your environments. But you've never faced anything quite like what humans call Tuesday. The confusion among the alien delegates was palpable. War Chief Brutok's brow furrowed, creating deep ridges across his massive skull. Tuesday? It's a day of the week, Chen explained. But more importantly, it represents something fundamental about human psychology. We don't just fight to win, we fight because we're too stubborn to lose, too curious to retreat, too spiteful to accept defeat gracefully. Admiral Zephyros activated his own display showing tactical simulations. Stubbornness won't overcome numerical disadvantage. Our models show— Your models, Chen interrupted gently, assume rational behavior patterns. They assume combatants will retreat when faced with overwhelming odds, surrender when defeat becomes inevitable, or seek self-preservation above mission objectives. She paused, allowing her words to sink in before continuing. 3 months ago, our survey team encountered a small Void Swarm incursion in the Kepler system. 17 human soldiers, a routine reconnaissance patrol, found themselves facing approximately 2,000 void constructs. The chamber fell silent. Even the ambient humming of life support systems seemed muted. According to your tactical models, Chen continued, they should have immediately requested evacuation. The smart move would have been intelligence gathering and strategic withdrawal. Obviously, High Commandant Vexhai agreed. 17 against 2,000. Suicide? Instead, Chen said, advancing to the next slide. They decided the Void Swarm looked kind of rude and needed to be taught some manners. I'm quoting directly from their after-action report. The holographic display showed battle footage. 17 humans in powered armor engaging a writhing mass of biomechanical horrors. The aliens watched in stunned silence as the small human force systematically dismantled an enemy that should have overwhelmed them within minutes. They held position for 6 hours, Chen narrated as the footage continued. Not because they were ordered to, but because, and again I quote, these things were being jerks and someone needed to explain proper etiquette. War Chief Brutok's jaw dropped open, revealing rows of intimidating teeth. They destroyed the entire swarm. More than that, Chen said, allowing herself a small smile. They did it while maintaining continuous communications, providing detailed tactical analysis, and developing 17 different countermeasures to Void Swarm adaptive capabilities. One soldier, Sergeant Martinez, actually complained that the enemy wasn't challenging enough. Admiral Zephyros stared at the display in disbelief. Impossible. No species fights like this. It violates basic survival instincts. Which is precisely why our 5,000 soldiers represent such an effective force multiplier, Chen explained. Every human in our expeditionary force volunteered specifically because they heard the Void Swarm was really tough and wanted to see what all the fuss was about. We actually had to turn away volunteers because too many applied. High Commandant Vexhai's serpentine form had gone completely still. You're saying they want to fight the most dangerous enemy in known space. For entertainment? Not entertainment, Chen corrected. Challenge. Humans have a saying, if it bleeds, we can kill it. The Void Swarm doesn't bleed, which just makes them more interesting. The chamber remained silent for long minutes as the implications settled in. Finally, Admiral Zephyros spoke in a much more respectful tone. Ambassador Chen, the Galactic Council formally apologizes for underestimating Earth's contribution. Your 5,000 soldiers will be integrated into our command structure with full operational autonomy. Chen nodded graciously. Thank you, Admiral. Though I should mention, our soldiers specifically requested to be deployed wherever the fighting looks most hopeless. They find easy victories boring. As she gathered her materials and prepared to leave, she added almost as an afterthought, "Oh, and they wanted me to pass along a message to the Void Swarm should we encounter them. They said to tell them that humanity has arrived, and we've brought snacks." The alien delegates watched her exit in profound silence, each privately reconsidering everything they thought they knew about the small, fragile species called humans. Outside the chamber, Ambassador Chen allowed herself a genuine smile. She hadn't mentioned that the 5,000 soldiers were just the advanced scouts, or that Earth had another 1,000,000 volunteers eagerly waiting their turn. Some surprises were worth saving.